So we are out here in Blackrock in South County Dublin, and behind me here we have 3 of the properties in our fund. So we have Zerocase, Trident House and Blackrock Village Centre. I'm joined here today by Patrick Rowe, our Head of Planning and Development. So Patrick, can you tell us firstly about the Zerocase redevelopment? Obviously you oversaw that project, so can you talk about the project that you implemented there?
Well, originally that was a 32,000 square feet office building construction in the 1980s. So we demolished it and replaced it with 75,000 square feet of grade A office space. We managed to achieve that by bringing the facade of the building right out to the roadside behind us here. Doing that by still keeping the car parking underneath the building. The building itself was designed with a sustainability focus, and it did achieve LEED Gold certification upon completion.
That's obviously really important for Aviva as a landlord, because Aviva, the company, is on that net zero 2040 journey, so that's fantastic. And I suppose the important thing as well for our customers is that you de-risked the project by having an agreement for lease in place with the tenant Zurich, and we now have long-term income in place with Zurich, which is excellent. And that project, Patrick, was great in terms of return, so a capital return of 37% and increased the rental level by 265%, which is very impressive. So then down the other end of the properties here behind us, Patrick, we have the white and grey building known as Trident House. So that obviously wasn't a major redevelopment like Zerocase in that the physical structure remained the same. It was more like a heavy refurbishment. Can you explain to us what you did there in Trident House?
Yeah, well, that was much smaller than Zerocase, around 18,000 square feet, but it's very good floor to ceiling height, so it lent itself to a refurbishment. There we introduced new ventilation system, new heating, new passenger lifts, and done a full internal refurbishment, including to the common areas. That was designed with a sustainability focus as well, and that project achieved LEED Gold certification similar to Zurich House when it was completed.
And also in Trident House we have a different arm of Zurich in there as a tenant, and again good quality long-term income. Again, really impressive returns there with a capital return of 23% and an increase in the rental level compared to, I suppose, the market rent of the vacant building beforehand, an increase of 66%, which is really impressive. So in between the 2 offices, Patrick, we have the most recently completed project, which is Blackrock Village Centre, which is the shopping centre or the retail component. So we can see here the lovely new facade or the entranceway, and above that there are in fact 3 stories of office space as well, which ultimately we can let up going forward and drive further value for the fund. Maybe we can go over to the shopping centre now and take a look inside and see the changes that you've made. So Patrick, we're now inside the newly upgraded Blackrock Village Centre, which looks fantastic. Can you talk us through, I suppose, some of the main changes that were made through the redevelopment project?
Well, we constructed a new roof, you can see above us here now. We relocated the travellators, we improved sightlines, greatly improving the visibility of retail units throughout the centre. We've also built 7 new retail units and extended a further 6 retail units. There are also 3 floors of office space now above the shopping centre available for let.
And when we talked about the 2 office buildings earlier on, you spoke about a sustainability angle. Is there any sustainability play here in terms of the retail space?
Well, all of the lighting throughout the shopping centre and the car parks is now LED lighting. We have improved the waste management facilities on site. There's natural ventilation throughout the malls around the perimeter of the new roof above us, and we've also installed e-charging points for cars in the customer car parks.
So here in the village centre, obviously we can see there are lots of attractive tenants. It's a really good tenant mix here. But I suppose retail in general has got some negative publicity in recent times, particularly obviously in light of COVID. Back in March 2020, many retailers had to shut down almost overnight. So I suppose it's impressive here that Blackrock Village Centre has remained relatively resilient during both the pandemic and obviously the construction works that were ongoing. Obviously it's home to some essential retailers such as the grocery store and indeed the pharmacy, but it also has lots of amenities that people can't get online. So things like, I suppose, your barber shop or your beauty salon or your key cutting or your dry cleaning. So it's proven a really good, I suppose, amenity hub for the local catchment area. Can you talk us through, I suppose, the existing tenant mix but also any ongoing letting activity here at the moment?
Well, we're anchored here by SuperValu, which behind us is Multigrave SuperValu's flagship store. Existing retailers have signed new leases over the last couple of years, such as Lloyd's Pharmacy, Dewberry Books, L'Occitane, and recently Holland and Barrett have doubled their footprint. Behind us here is their first interactive store in Ireland. We've recently signed leases with Butler's Chocolates for a coffee shop, Michael's Restaurant and Poulet Bonfemme. They're due to open in the coming months. We also have a number of ongoing negotiations with potential other new entrants for some of the vacant retail units.
Okay, that's fantastic. And obviously as that letting activity progresses, Patrick, that'll drive further value for the fund and obviously long-term income, all of which will flow through to the unit price, which is obviously a positive for our customers. So I suppose in terms of the development project down here, Patrick, that really wrapped up just a few weeks ago now. And as our Head of Planning and Development, I suppose, what do you have up your sleeve to drive value going forward?
Well, the next project is at our holdings on the corner of Coppinger Row and St William Street. We plan to construct a restaurant space at ground and basement level and then office floors within the listed structures on St William Street. So that's the next project on the agenda.
And again, much like Blackrock, obviously that will drive further value for the fund as that project progresses and ultimately the space is let up.